What's up, fellow traders? It's Matt with Conservative Trades. You can probably tell by my voice there's a little extra pep in my step today, especially after the week that we've had. Yesterday, many of you know who were in the live stream and who saw the recap that I ended the day down pretty massively. I took a pretty massive hit yesterday, and I said it was going to take, a day or two to recover from it. And so I almost recovered from it today. We're still probably a couple $100 away from recovering fully from yesterday. But so I said it would take a day or two, so it looks like it's going to take two. But overall, this has actually been a good week. Monday made, I don't know, 500 and some. Tuesday made 400 and some. Wednesday was basically break even, probably down a little underwater after fees and commissions. And then yesterday was just a heartache. But today we are packing on a full $720.81. So overall, I'm green on the week. It's not what I'd like. I typically try to shoot for a, $1,500 to $2,000 week. But, I'll tell you what, for the kind of market conditions we've been in, and for as irrationally as the market has been behaving, one thing I pointed out in the live stream today is it's really hard to tell what's going to happen with the market when you're trading in such volatile conditions. Stocks do not behave the same way that they normally would. Technical indicators do not play out. Trends do not play out the way that they typically would. And we are facing historical moments in the stock market. I mean, we are trading in what is going to go down as some kind of history in stock market. And so anyway, it's been a whirlwind of a ride here. And listen, mind you, I'm not the best trader on the planet. I'm sure there's traders out there who have done really well in these market conditions. And maybe you are one of those people, and maybe you've been able to get in just on the right side of the trade every time, and maybe it's just been like magic for you. And that's great. That's awesome. I love it when that happens. I love it when you go on those long streaks and you're able to catch the right side of the trade time and time again. That's great. And I hope that has happened for many of you. For me, it's been a little bit of a struggle. Again, last week was a good week. We did end up, I don't know, somewhere around 1,500. The week before we ended up almost 2,000. And so obviously the market has been reacting like this for probably over 2 weeks now. And so it's been all right on this end, but this week got me. This week got me a little bit. I admit I was trading kind of, coming into the markets each day with wobbly legs, just because, again, I've never been in these market conditions before. And so admittedly, maybe I didn't have as much confidence as I needed to really press through and have a successful week. But at the same time, guys, even when the market is reacting normal, even when it's just kind of a ho-hum normal day in the market, you can still get chopped out of trades. You can still find choppy market conditions or just hop on some of the most irrationally behaving stocks. I mean, such is the life of a trader. And I think you guys know that, most of you guys anyway, who are watching. So, but either way, it's been a great week overall. I mean, I really can't complain. Again, we are ending still in the green this week. I haven't really tallied it up or calculated it, but probably somewhere in the neighborhood of, I don't know, $500 to $700 on the week. So it's fine. It's fine. And hopefully the markets will start leveling out a little, and hopefully we'll see a little bit smoother market conditions next week. And hopefully we'll get a little bit of a turnaround on the S&P 500. As you can see here, I mean, we are kind of maintaining above these critical levels that I had marked out. And these levels date back all the way back here to, 2018, early 2018. And, I was talking to somebody not too long ago. We might have actually talked about this in the live stream the other day. But if you think about it, I mean, yeah, like to put it in perspective, it's bad, right? But to put it in perspective, we've only really lost a couple years of gains. I mean, the stock market has been going on forever, right? Well, not forever, but you know what I mean. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, once we're able to recover and get out of this and continue on to newer highs, this will just be just another talking point down the road of trends and stock market. It's going to be a good piece of conversation. But the thing is it's not like we've just lost the whole last 10 years of the bull market. Okay, we've lost a couple years, and we've had a couple pretty big things hit the global economy, and it's rough, but it's a couple years, guys. People are freaking out and they're selling their 401ks and they're getting rid of their stocks. And, the smart people out there are buying. Now, I know buying isn't for everybody in these conditions. Some of the people who are buying obviously are super wealthy people that have money that they can throw at the market, and they can dollar cost average in, and they don't care if it keeps coming down because they'll just keep buying no matter how far it comes down. Okay, these are the people that probably got in way back here. I mean, they don't care. They'll buy all the way down to these levels if they have to. Okay, and the average Joe is not like that. I get it. And there is cause for concern right now. But if you think about it, I mean, this could easily recover. It might take a year. It might take a couple years to recover. But 10 years from now, we'll probably be far beyond these levels, And we'll look back and see this little dip that took us back, just backtracked just a couple years. I mean, really. So, try to maintain perspective. Now, could it dip lower and could we suffer, could we fall into a recession? I mean, technically, guys, we are in bear market territory. We are in recession territory. It's definitely having an impact on the global economy, but I don't know. It could go lower. We'll just have to see how all this plays out. But I'm just saying, if this is it, and even if it comes down to these levels right here, where we were kind of back at December of 2018, again, this is where we were basically a year and some change. And if we can still somehow round out the bottom and make our way back up, I think there's going to be a lot of people who regretted selling their 401ks and pulling out of the market so soon. We I think talked about this in the live stream the other day also. Warren Buffett, he's well known for this quote. Somebody had asked him after the 2008 market crash, they had asked him how much money he lost. And he said none. He didn't lose anything. Why? Because he didn't sell. He held on to it. He's been in this long enough. He's seen market correction after market correction, market crash after market crash. He bought more. And he's a very wealthy man because of it. Okay? And so anyway, just to give some perspective, but to go over the trades today, I had went short here and I tried to average in with 500 shares because I was looking for a quick drop in pre-market. So this really only would have been like a $50 trade, but it only bit 44 shares off and it came down and went up. And so I got out 44 shares there, lost $3, big deal. Eventually we can see it did come down, but again, I didn't get all my shares filled anyway, and I took them off the table after that because after this shot up, I didn't know where this was going to go. LJPC was one that I was watching, and I tried to get in literally right here at the break of $5. I put in an order to go short, I think like 400 shares. And I was watching this one because this one had gapped up on very little volume, very light volume. This candle right here was green. It was all the way up to here, and it was green this morning. So it was a little bigger than these candles here, but you see all this volume here on these days with these candles, and the volume was barely even shown. It was like way down here over here. So we were gapped up on light volume. We were also hitting a very critical area of resistance, but not only here, but if you backtrack and look at the history, it was butting up right against this and right against these areas, all these areas of consolidation. So there was a good chance in my mind that this was going to be a good shorting play. So I was actually looking for it to come up and retest, and it did. It didn't quite get the full retest on this, but it slammed back down. And I hesitated a little. I did, but I went ahead and I tried to get short, but then it just took off without my order. This would have been a beautiful trade. I probably would have made, maybe a couple $100 off of this. A big part of my strategy is taking conservative share size so that I can piece out along the way. And when there's pullbacks like this, I can add back in. So probably with the way my strategy works, and I usually set stop losses at the break of the previous 5-minute candle. That's pretty common with my strategy. So had I gotten filled on those 400 shares, maybe taken 100 off here, 100 off here, when it came back up, maybe loaded up another 200 and then taken off some here. And I don't know if I would have loaded up here because it's really not close to any moving averages or anything. I probably would have waited for it to come back here. So this trade, the way that it probably would have played out is I probably could have made a couple $100 off of it, maybe $200-300. So I hate I missed that move, but this is a good lesson to learn. I often find this to be the case, not always, but a lot of times when you see large candles, I mean, unordinarily large candles, as you can see, the price action on LJPC most days is not that much. Look at all these tiny little candles. It does not make huge moves. So when you see a huge candle like this, but it's gapped up on very light volume, that could make for a great shorting opportunity. So just kind of put that one in the back burner of your mind. I'm not saying that it always works out that way, but more times than not, it does. I have found in my experience anyway. So again, I am not a professional financial advisor. You trade at your own risk. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I will continue to put that out there because it's very true. It's very true. But it's written all over my channel. So if you hadn't gotten the point by now, I'm sorry. But moving on, CCL was the winner of the day. $550 on CCL. You can see that I got in here. And what I noticed with CCL is it was forming a flat top up here, but it couldn't break. It could never break. It tested so many times in pre-market. Now, yes, you're always still risking that it's going to eventually break. It could be a flat top breakout, but I usually see these as flat top breakdowns, probably because I'm short biased, and so everything I look at looks short to me. So anyway, I went ahead and got in, I think, with a couple hundred shares here, and I had a stop set over here at 1888. Of course, when you're in pre-market, stops don't trigger, so you have to kind of keep an eye on it and watch. Sometimes I'll set alerts. But this morning it started making some resolution to the downside. It started coming back up right before pre-market here at 925. And so I went ahead and got out 100 of those shares just in case it ran up against me real quick. And I put a stop here at 1888. Well, as you can see, it started failing and it started coming down. So I averaged back in here at the break of, I guess, 1825, and then I averaged in again at the break of $18. Started taking profit here, just a beautiful move. I went ahead and averaged in again. Let me pull this out so you can see this. I went ahead and averaged in again right here. Continued to take profit on the way down. Averaged in more and more here. Continued to take profit, and I was watching the S&P 500 at the same exact time. And this is what the S&P 500 was doing all during that move. And as long as the S&P 500 was pulling, I felt pretty confident that Carnival was going to pull. Okay, and guys, we already know the fundamentals behind this stuff. We know that the cruise ships are being docked. Travel agencies are not doing really well right now. So, you know, even the sentiment, the bearish market sentiment was in my favor on this one. But these are stocks that I look for every single day. Okay, and these flat top breakdowns usually go really, really well, right? And as you can see, this one did. And so this was just a bunch of adding, taking profit, coming back to test VWAP, adding again, taking profit. You know, VWAP fail, adding again, taking a little bit of profit, letting it work itself out, getting in here for the break of this candle with more shares, taking profit, adding a little more, taking profit. Carnival was just a great move. It was a great move, and I did it all with very conservative share size. Now, sure, I could have loaded in with a couple thousand shares, and this would have been a much bigger move. But guys, that's not part of my strategy. It's just not, because when you load in with a couple hundred shares, you get a lot more nervous too. This little pullback here up to 1877, I might have thought to myself, man, I better go ahead and just get out and take the lot, because I don't want to see if this thing ends up running against me before the market opens. So I might have taken a $200 loss for no reason if I had 2,000 shares here where I came in. So, look, part of the strategy is taking a conservative share size, something that you personally are comfortable moving with, something that you can handle while letting the stock go up and go down, letting the stock breathe, letting it do its thing, to wait, to have the type of patience, and not just patience, but be comfortable enough to let the stock play out. Let your trade idea play out. And that's what I did here on CCL. You can go back and check all the other videos I've posted throughout the last several weeks. I have a lot of trades that have worked out just like this. So anyway, guys, I'm really happy about this. I even came in on TVIX and did a little bit of scalping. And you can see here, look at my TVIX orders. It started with selling 10 shares, going short 10 shares at 429 right here. And I took a few off here, took a few off here. Look at these orders. I bought 5 at 427. I bought 2 at 425. I bought 1 at 417, 2 at 416. And then I saw it bottoming here at the 400 area. And I noticed that the SPY was starting to turn back around. So I went ahead and bought. Just a very conservative shares, just 5 shares, guys. And I sold 2 shares at 410. And then I bought another 3 on a minor pullback at 406. So now I had 6 shares in, and I sold 3 at 418 and the other 3 at 419 up here. You can see up here. So really good move on the TVIX. RCL provided some really good opportunities as well. I was actually a little bit more green on this trade, but I gave some of it back, and it's okay. I'm stopping here, guys. I hope y'all had a good trading week as well. I hope your day was good, and thank you guys, all of you who came in and enjoyed joined the live stream. Met a lot of new people today, or a couple new people today who had never really commented on the live stream before, and I appreciate it. I really do. I even learned something new today in the live stream. We were talking about the VWAP and how some people use a 2-day VWAP, a 5-day VWAP. This is what I love about this. And I was talking about this in the live stream. I love the fact that we're building a really solid community. We don't really have any trolls yet. No trolls have come out to play. So we're doing well. We've got really good, solid, sensible people coming into the live stream, people that are learning things, but they're also adding value to the channel, and I'm learning from them. And I think it's a wonderful community we're growing here. So if you haven't been a part of the live stream yet, feel free to join us. We start that up pretty much Monday through Friday, every day, Monday through Friday at around 9 a.m. So would love to see you guys next week. I will try to release another episode of The Trader's Mind this weekend. I do have a couple things already mapped out that I eventually want to talk about. I don't know if this weekend is a weekend to do it. I've got a lot of things going on here on my end this weekend anyway, so I just might not get around to it. But if I do, be sure to stop back by the channel and check that out. Otherwise, I'll see you Monday. Have a great weekend.